All right, good morning everybody. So today I want to show you how to make fangs or teeth and a mouth. So there's all kinds of different stuff. So depending on how you want your teeth or fangs to look, or even if your teeth don't show, that's fine too. So most of the time teeth are just kind of a little teardrop shape that you roll, like if they're fangs, and then you just flatten out the end just a little bit. So for this guy, I'm gonna kind of make him like, a fangly tooth looking thing. Now for the lips, I'm gonna do that whole banana thing again. So like I'm just rolling out a coil and tapering the ends. So I guess this one looks more like a green bean. But if I want the teeth to look like or the fangs to look like they're on the inside of the monster's mouth, then I want to make sure when I slip and score these on to my project. Oh, and when you do slip and score these, I know they're small. You don't have to score the pointy part, but you do have to score and slip the round part, and you would score underneath on your project and make sure those are stuck real good before you try to add on the mouth, okay? Because like this is actually more hard since I don't have these stuck down. Oh, maybe I'll stick it down on this side. Doink. But we're just trying to, we're gonna practice on the table first. So like I said, if you wanna make this look like these are coming out of the mouth, then you wanna use the layering for that. Now this looks like a really big mouth, but I'm gonna, it's monster. Who knows? Maybe you want that big of a mouth. But you want to make sure that it is big enough to cover the area that you need, and you can always smooth off the extra. So this right here makes it look like, since the lip is layered over the top of the teeth, it looks like the teeth are on the inside. Now, the only tricky part is the blending of the lip. So you do still need to slip and score, and you need to blend, but see how I'm really only blending like just this little base piece. Now, if you're somebody who has super long nails, if you've got the fabulous nails, this is a little bit more difficult, but you can use your tool, the side of your tool, to do the same thing. So if you do have those crazy fabulous nails, or you just find a spot that you really just can't get in the middle of, you could do that. So this would get blended out. Now, like I said, you could, if you want to make it shorter, you can kind of blend off the extra. So now he looks kind of like his lip is like hanging there, right? And this would be on another clay surface. So you could do that. If you want the teeth to go the opposite direction, so if you want your teeth to go from, like, say you're making a vampire, let's make a vampire. So I'm gonna get 2 really long teeth. If you make them both at the same time, it usually works a little bit better, okay? Now the little in-betweener teeth, you can either, make like little shaker style little things there like that. But you're gonna start, if you're gonna make like a vampire mouth, or if you want the teeth to be underneath coming out from underneath the top lip, then you wanna make the bottom lip first. So same thing, you're making basically, a green bean or a banana. So I'm gonna have my vampire mouth over here. So I would start with smoothing the side like this, adding it in. Now you can flatten it just a little bit, but you really want to have this shadow be created right there. That's what makes it look like it's coming out of something. Okay, so like I said, if you want your fangs to be over, then you're gonna do your bottom lip first. And if you need to like dent a little bit where your fangs are gonna go, where they're gonna stick over the top, you can do that, but you would slip and score your fangs on. Since I'm doing it on the table, I'm just pushing. But so you would get your fangs on. Now, if you want to add in the teeth that go in between, depending on what size you make them, let's use these ones, they're even. So slip and score your little extra teeth in there. Boink, boink. Slip and score. Now you would want to make the top one, right? Now the top lip, if you're trying to make it look a little bit more realistic, you still kind of start off with the banana or the, you know, the tapered coil. But a lot of times too, the top lip, that's where like the little denty bit is. So you can either use your finger or you can use the tool to start creating that little dent right there. Now this would be like a super big lip. And if that's what you're going for, that could actually be fine. And you would do the blending the same way. If you want it to be slightly more dainty, then you would just roll it down a little bit smaller before making the little dent, right? So I'm gonna add my dent right here. If I want to emphasize it, I can kind of push it a little bit like that and make it a little more pointed at the top if I want to. This is a lot of experimenting to see what it looks like. The main thing is you don't want it to get too tall this way because you still want to be able to blend it in. So I've decided that I'm gonna make mine, I'm gonna go like this. All right, so here's what I want my lip to look like. I don't need this much, so I'm just gonna trim off my extra, right? Trim off my extra, okay? So I'm gonna trim it, and then I'm also going to, again, smooth the back, right? Now, when I get to that middle where the Cupid's bow is, right here, that little piece, that's really hard, even if you don't have long nails. So I do use my tool for that generally. And I can also use it to kind of help like emphasize the shape that I want, right? All right, so that is more like a Dracula, okay? So you can do just one side of the lip if you want to. If you're making a monster, you could do both sides. If you're trying to make it look more realistic and you don't even want any fangs or teeth showing at all, it's still the same process as this one. You just don't leave a gap. So you would still start with a banana. You would blend out the back, okay? You would leave it a little bit more flat as far as like the shape right here. And you would still do another green bean looking thing, right? And we would still do the little Cupid's bow and kind of flatten it out a little bit. Squeezy, squeezy. Let me get my squeezy a little bit better. There we go. Okay, and then it's just you would set it right up against the lower lip, but you would still do the same, like take off the extra you don't need, blend it, right? So you're still gonna do the same thing, but take your time, spend some time on this, make it look nice, right? Because this is gonna last forever. All right, and like I said, if you are doing this for practice, just do it on the table. If you are doing this for your monster mug, do it directly onto your project. All right, be creative. Thanks, everybody.